Hello students, our next topic is OpenGL fill area attribute functions. So to generate displays of filled convex polygons, we have four steps. Let us see that. So what do you mean by convex polygon? You have to understand. Say, suppose the interior angle of the polygon is less than 180 degrees, we call it as a convex polygon. Okay, so a polygon may be triangle or a square or a rectangle, hexagon, all these are examples for polygon. So here we mainly consider how to fill a convex polygon. Okay, there are four steps. The first step is define the fill pattern. Okay, initially you have to define what pattern you want to fill inside the polygon, that you have to define. And next is invoke the polygon fill routine. Okay, after this you have to invoke that particular polygon function, and next you have activating the polygon fill feature of OpenGL. So before activating you have to define and you have to invoke the polygon fill routine. Okay, so only then you can activate the particular polygon fill feature, or you can start filling the or you can say you can activate the polygon fill feature. And next is describe the polygon to be filled. Okay, at last after that you can start drawing your actual uh, polygon that has to be filled with certain pattern. Okay. So the polygon fill pattern is displayed up to and including polygon edges. So you can have for a polygon, when you are defining a polygon, you can have only the fill area, or you can have the edges also. Okay. Thus, there are no boundary lines around the fill region unless we specifically add them to the display. So only if you specify it, you'll be getting the edges, or else only the field region you will be having inside the polygon. Okay, you have seen certain examples in the previous videos where you had a hollow like structure, where in the hollow pattern what you have done, you were displaying only the external edges. Okay, nothing was filled inside. And the next example, you had another kind of pattern which was only polygon with certain pattern that was filled. Okay, there were no edges that was actually displayed. Okay, the polygon was filled with certain pattern, or you can say with certain color, but there were no edges actually displayed in the polygon. So there can be two kinds. Okay, you can either so suppose if you want to if you want to display on the edges, then you have to specify it in your program. So you had four steps for filling the polygon, convex polygon, is it? So the first step was to define the fill pattern. So let us see how to define this fill pattern. Okay, see here, to fill the polygon with pattern in OpenGL, we use 32 into 32-bit mask. Okay, so 32 into 32 means it's 1024-bit mask it is. Okay, uh, see, you can have a 9 into 9-bit mask, 3 into 3-bit mask also it's there. Okay, but here they are defining it as 32-bit 32 mask. It's a maximum bit mask, you can say. Uh, okay, so a value of 1 in the mask indicates that corresponding pixel is to be set to the current color, and 0 leaves the value of the frame buffer position unchanged. So that means, you see, when you are going to, I said that the first step is to define the fill pattern. So how do you define it? So it's given by the function GLU byte fill pattern, that is equal to, see, it's an array with the values z. So this is hexadecimal values. See, you have FF 000 FF 00. So alternate ones and zeros you have. See here. you have got one on off pattern, on off, like this it goes on. Okay, so how many bits you can say here? It's see the values, it's up to 1024. Okay, so you have got a pattern. So you can imagine that how many bits you will be having. You will be having 1024 bits. Okay, so each of the 1024 bit has got its values, 1010, like this it goes on up to 1024 bit. Okay, see here, one example you can show, I will show here, that is showing you a 9 cross 9 pattern. Okay, uh, bit mask, it is 9 cross 9 bit mask you have. And how it is being filled, you see, just see, it's used to is being used with the 3 by 3 pattern. Okay, see in 3, if you are showing with the values, if you are saying, if you are initializing the particular uh, fill pattern, how many values you will be having? 9 values. Okay, see the values, it's initially see it's 0 0 0 1 0 1 0 0 1 1. That means 1 1 if you are having, it shows that this particular bit there, it is with certain color. Okay, 0 means there will be nothing, or no pattern is being filled, you can see. So this is for 3 cross 3, you can say. See the same 3 cross 3 matrix will start to replicate uh, from the lower left corner. Okay, this this kind of filling we call it as styling. Okay, there will not be any overlapping between the masks. Okay, or you say here 3 by 3 bit mask it is actually. So this 3 by 3 bit mask won't be overlapped anyway. Okay, it will be continuously filled, but starting where it will start to fill initially at the lower left corner, and it will start to fill, and it will end at the top right corner. Okay, so like this the filling happens. We call this process as styling. Okay, same kind of process will or the process of filling will happen for 32 by 32 bit mask also. Okay, here we have shown 3 by 3. It will apply for 32 by 32 bit mask. So you can imagine there will be 32 by 32 means it will be 1024 different values you will be having. That is 1024 values you'll be having, and these values are defined with something hexadecimal value. Okay. So the bits must be specified starting with the bottom row of the pattern and continuing up to top row of the pattern. This pattern is replicated across the entire area of the display window, starting at the lower left window corner, and specified polygons are filled where the pattern overlaps those polygons. So this is the pattern you have defined. Okay, this is the pattern you have defined, and you have started filling the particular polygon with this particular pattern. Now suppose you have a display window in this manner. See, imagine a display window you have in this manner, and see, you have got two polygons here. See the polygon, you have a triangle here, and another polygon you have in this manner. Okay, now you want to fill this particular polygon with the certain pattern. So how you'll do, how you'll start? Again, you have to define the fill pattern. Okay, like this GLU byte fill pattern, any pattern you can take. Okay, so this is like a chessboard pattern, you can say. This particular pattern is like a chessboard. Okay, on off you have, so it's like a chessboard, you can say. Or this kind of pattern also you can define. Any pattern you can initially define, and you have to call the routine. Next step is what? Invoking the polygon fill routine. Okay, that will be there, and after that you will be going to activate the polygon fill feature of OpenGL, and later you are going to describe the polygons to be filled. So after that, the process of filling happens. So that means if you have defined the pattern, see that whenever the particular OpenGL function, it starts seeing the edge of the polygon, or you can say here a particular area of the polygon. It has to fill with a certain pattern. Okay, maybe you have like a chessboard pattern or anything it may be. It has to fill only within that. Uh, pattern has to be filled only within the polygon. Okay, not outside the polygon. The pattern will be filled only with inside the polygon. So after defining the fill pattern, what we have to do next step is to invoke the polygon fill routine. So how do you invoke the polygon fill routine? That is using this function. Okay, you will be defining it as gl polygon stipple, and you are calling inside the parameter you have written it as fill pattern. So you are actually invoking the polygon fill routine which is defined earlier. Okay. And next step is, the third step is to activate the polygon fill feature of the OpenGL. How do you activate it? It's activated using gl enable gl underscore polygon underscore stipple. And if you have enabled it, again to disable it, I have got one more function that is using gl disable gl underscore polygon underscore stipple. OpenGL texture and interpolation patterns. So this is another kind of patterns we have in OpenGL. Say suppose your texture or the pattern what you want to fill is, it has to be smooth, very smooth. Then you can have a function called GL shade model GL underscore smooth. Okay, so this is a function that is available in OpenGL. And another pattern also you can have where it is going to display the previous color. If suppose here if you are just changing gl underscore flat, then you will be getting a different pattern. Okay, another method of filling the polygon, we call it as texture patterns. Okay, this we call it as texture patterns. So you can have fill patterns with a different kind of appearance. For example, if you want to have the pattern to be displayed as a wood or brick or a brushed steel, or any other material, whatever you wish. Okay, then you can go for the OpenGL texture and interpolation patterns. Uh, in this kind, interpolation means, remember that, for example, for a triangle, here we have written the program, okay, code here, GL begin GL underscore triangle. So triangle has got three vertices. So how they are defined vertices? See here, one vertex you have here, another vertex defined here, another vertex you have, third vertex is defined here. So before writing the vertex functions, you also have written the color for the vertex. Okay. See, remember that the vertex position at 50, 50 has got the color, uh, that is RGB blue color you have got. Okay, the first vertex. So that is you are going to color for the particular vertex. The coloring of the vertex is being done. And see the next vertex you have got, that is with red color, and the third vertex you have got, that is with green color. So you have defined actually different colors for each of the vertex in this case. Okay, so this is called interpolation filling. So interpolation filling is of a polygon interior is used to produce realistic displays of the shaded surface under various lighting conditions. The polygon fill is then the linear interpolation of the colors at the vertices. For example, if you want to display a color cube, again the color cube has many vertices, you can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 different vertices you have. So see the diagram how it is being displayed. You have given the color for the each of the vertex. For example, this particular vertex has got green color. You have defined another vertex with blue color, and see how it is being. So for the vertex you have given the color. So this is called interpolation filling of the polygon. OpenGL wireframe methods. So what do you mean by wireframe? For example, you are going to define a polygon only with its edges. Suppose, okay, you have defined a polygon that is a triangle with only the edges. Then we call it as a wireframe structure. Or you have a cube, okay, cube which is not filled with any color. Okay, you have only the edges. Then we call it as wireframe structure. So we can also choose to show only the polygon edges in our OpenGL functions. Okay, so we have got one function, that is the option we have here, GL polygon mode within the bracket we write, that is parameters we have as face and display mode. So what do you mean by this face? Hmm? The front face of the polygon, back face of the polygon. Okay, so this is called face, different faces of the polygon. So suppose if you see a cube here, okay, you have got the front face and the back face behind the polygon, or the cube, is it? So if you want to define it, you can define here. So you have got different parameters for writing the particular face. For example, you have GL underscore front, GL underscore back, or if you want to display both, that is front and back faces, then you can go for GL underscore front underscore back and front and back. Okay, so these are the options. There are three options available here for the face. And again, if you are seeing display mode, okay, display mode also has got three options here. Okay, you can either display only the lines, that means only the edges, that is with the help of GL underscore line parameter. You can have the only the lines in the polygon, lines of the polygon. And next you have GL underscore point. Okay, suppose if you want to display only the points of the polygon, then you can define with the GL underscore point. Another one, you have GL underscore fill. So if your polygon has to be filled with any color, then we can go for GL underscore, that is GL underscore fill. So this is also one more option you have in case of polygon filling, that is GL underscore fill. So three different parameters can be chosen here. Again, three different parameters also can be chosen in this case. Okay, so face, if you are saying it can be front face, that is with the help of GL underscore front, or it can be back face, GL underscore back, or if you want to display both, then you can go for GL underscore front and back. Hmm? And if it is display mode, suppose if you want to display only points, then you can go for GL points, GL underscore point, and if you want to display only the edges, then you can go for GL underscore line, and if you want to display the interior of the polygon, then you can go for GL underscore fill. As I said, suppose if you want to display the wireframe structure of the polygon, so here you have few examples of wireframe structures. See here you have got wireframe structure of a cube. Okay, so these are the wireframe structures of different polygons, you can say. Suppose if you are using this particular function, and here see we have got a example here. The following code section fills the polygon interior with green color and edges are displayed in red color. Okay, see RGB color, RG green color you have, that is for polygon filling. Okay, or you can say the polygon color is in green and the edges are displayed in red color. Okay, and between that you are going to invoke certain polygon generating routines also, that is not shown here completely. And later you have displayed the wireframe structure using GL polygon mode, GL underscore front, comma GL underscore line. Okay. So this is one way of one function you have actually to display the wireframe structure. But this kind of production of lines or the edges may produce certain gaps along the edges. Okay, there may be certain gaps that are produced in the edges. So this effect we call it as stitching. Okay, to avoid this effect, we have one more method of writing the program. Let us see that. So to eliminate the gaps that is caused because of the GL polygon mode function, see we have got one more function in OpenGL, that is called GL enable GL underscore polygon underscore offset underscore fill. Okay, so this is actually for an activating the particular polygon routine, you can say. Then after writing this, you have to write one more function called GL polygon offset factor 1 comma factor 2. Here the first function actually activates the offset routine for scan line filling, and the second function, whatever you write here, that is polygon offset, is used to set up set a floating point values of values for factor 1 and factor 2. That is actually used for calculating the amount of depth offsets. Okay. So here depth values are actually calculated by filling routines so that they do not overlap with the edge depth values for the polygon. So this is these two functions are mainly used to avoid the stitching effect. Uh, to avoid the stitching effect that was caused because of the previous program, now certain modifications are done to the coding. Okay, so what are the modifications we have done here is after writing the GL color 3F, that is the color given for the uh, particular polygon. Okay, you said that green color was actually filled for the polygon. So after writing that, you have to just enable the polygon offset fill and then write GL polygon offset with certain factors. Okay, factor 1, factor 2 values you have is with the floating point values. And then again you have to disable the polygon offset fill. And after this, to mainly to coloring of the edges, to color the edges, we have given a red color. Okay, so that is again written GL color 3F. Uh, so 1.0, 0.0, 0.0. And after that, you have to again set the polygon mode, that is GL underscore front, comma GL underscore line. So this will this particular code. So this is a modified code, we can say. This particular code will eliminate the stitching effect. Suppose you are given with the convex polygon, you can easily fill the convex polygon with some color. But if suppose your polygon is a concave polygon, what exactly you may be doing? Fill the area of the concave polygon. You will be dividing the polygon into triangles. Okay, set of triangles. So what you have done, for example, you have got a concave polygon here. Is it? Uh, and this polygon you have converted into number of triangles. See, in the interior, everything you have just divided into triangles so that these triangles can be easily filled. Okay, with some pattern. Uh, so, what exactly you may be, see, after filling the pattern, you have to eliminate the edges, whatever you have earlierly, whatever you have defined, those edges you have to eliminate. So how easily you can eliminate these edges? Okay, so that is using GL edge flag. In the parameter you have to write GL underscore false or GL underscore true. Okay, suppose if you need the edge, whatever the edge you have constructed here, for example, for the concave polygon, you have constructed a triangle here. This triangle has got one edge. The outer edge, however, you need. Suppose if you want to eliminate this edge, okay, think that you want to eliminate the edge, then you have to set the flag as GL underscore flag. That means the edge will be off. If suppose you want the edge completely, the wireframe structure you want for the convex concave polygon, then you have to keep it as the GL edge flag. Inside the bracket you have to write it as GL underscore true. So that means if you have GL underscore true, then you will be displaying the edges of the polygon. If you are writing GL underscore false here, okay, GL underscore false, then you will be eliminating the edges of the polygon. So this is how you are going to eliminate the edges or any edges of the interior of the polygon by using this flag. Let us take one example to show the edge flag, the usage of edge flag. Okay, so here actually you have started writing the program using GL polygon mode, GL underscore front and back. So that means the two faces are of the polygon are being displayed, and you have set the mode as GL underscore line. That means edges you are going to display. So start writing the polygon. GL begin GL underscore polygon, and it has got three vertices. Remember, the polygon has got three vertices. So let us start writing the vertex. Okay, so three vertices means it's like a triangle. It is a triangle. So name the vertices V1. So you have got vertex V1, V2, and V3. Okay. So here GL vertex 3 of V, V1. After that we have written GL edge flag GL underscore false, and then GL vertex 3 of V, V2. So that means between V1 and V2 we don't have any edge. Okay, means you have set it as false. That's why your wireframe structure will not have the edge between V1 and V2. And then again after V2 we have uh, written GL underscore true. Okay, GL underscore true, that is between V2 and V3. There will be a edge between V2 and V3. And again after V3, V3 and V1 we have not defined anything, then there again will be a edge between V1 and V3. So this is our triangle actually, how it is formed if you are writing the particular uh, code like this. Okay, so the polygon edge flags can also be specified as array. Okay, array of edge flags also can be defined. How to write the program if you are writing a array of edge flag? Then you have to write some more codes, that is GL enable client state GL underscore edge underscore flag underscore array, and then again you have to set the pointer as GL edge flag pointer offset comma edge flag array. So this is when you are using edge flags as an array. Okay, only if you are going to use an array, then you will be using this. OpenGL front face function. We can label the selected surfaces in the scene independently as front face or back face with the function called GL front face GL vertex order. Sorry, vertex order. Okay. So here you are going to mention what order you are following, whether you are following the counterclockwise order or clockwise order. See, if you are writing, for example, I say here, I take an I will write the vertex here as V1, V2, V3. So this I am going to define the vertex for the triangle V1, V2, V3. Okay. So suppose if you are writing the clockwise order, how do you write it? Okay. How do you write the clockwise order for the triangle? Suppose I start from V1, the clockwise order will be clockwise. How do you write? V1, V3, V2, and again it will come back to V1. So this is the order we are going to follow. and this same order will be followed if writing the program also. You have to follow the same order if you are following the clockwise order. And what is counterclockwise? Counterclockwise means it is anti-clockwise direction. So now you have to change the direction of the vertex you are going to take into consideration counterclockwise direction. So then you will be writing it as, if you start from V1, you will start and go for specifying it as V2, V3. Okay, so this order you will be maintaining when you are going to write the program as well. Uh, so this GL underscore CW, if you are going to write here, and that means that the polygon has clockwise ordering. Okay, polygon has clockwise ordering, or your vertex actually has a clockwise ordering. And if it is counterclockwise order, then you are going to specify it as GL underscore CCW. Okay, and remember that if you are writing the polygon as a counterclockwise order, if you are mentioning, then you are going to actually define the front face of the polygon. Suppose if you are mentioning it as a CW or GL underscore CW, then you are actually mentioning the back face of the polygon. So this is based on the order, you can define the front face of the polygon as well as back face of the polygon. This is very, very important to note the vertex order while you define any polygon.